Hello my beautiful hammerheads and welcome back to another Black Library review. This time Nagash, The Undying King by Josh Reynolds. Okay, this is a bit of a comfort story for me as I've read this multiple times all over, so I'm a little bit biased with this one because it is called Nagash the Undying King, but Nagash really doesn't play a big part in this one. Well, he is a big part, but he's not an active participant. Let me phrase it like this. Because this plays a short while after the Battle of the Burning Skies, in which Archaon, the Three-Eyed King, struck Nagash down with his awesome demon sword. And, well, Nagash, not only his bony body got shattered, but parts of his soul as well. But being a god, and being the god of death, in which time has no meaning for him, and, well, he's still unstoppable, he needs to recuperate. He phrases it like, yeah, well, I have to secure my borders and then sleep for about 100 or 200 years. Then everything should be fine. In the meantime, the forces of Nurgle, the Order of the Fly, are attacking Shyish from the south and up to the north, and we follow the story of Tamra Van Drek and her Rictus clan. I'm not going to dive too much into the story in here because the story is throughout the book pretty much the same. We have a little bit of discourse in the forces of Nurgle with the leader of the Order of the Fly and a demon herald of Nurgle. And on the other side, we have a little bit of discourse with Tamra and her Rictus clan, so the members of her clan. But they are, well, advised by two Mortarchs, Neferata and Arkan the Black, which I love, by the way. We get a little bit of backstory for both of them on that there might be something between them, but being Death Lords, it is not, first of all, not possible. But that there is a little bit more than just mutual respect, because they're talking to each other, not like, well, Death Lords, colleagues, or anything like that. It is more than an intimate relationship between those two. And this does not feel like the thing that they're existing for multiple of thousands of years, and they're just like, okay, I have no one else but him or her. And this is more like, okay, they know each other, they, well, known each other in life as well, but still there is more. And I love this. But yeah, the story is that, well, Nagash in his weakened form can basically do nothing as of right now. In the book, this is still first edition of Age of Sigmar, so even before the Shyish Nadir or the Necroquake. So his mortal followers and his Mortarchs are doing the heavy lifting. And as I've said, the whole story is the mortals are fleeing the forces of Nurgle, and all whichever happens is they are just slowing the forces of Nurgle down until they are reaching a certain point in the story, which is basically the end. On their way, they are gathering some reinforcements of the Flesh Eater Courts. We get to know, we learn the name of the first zombie dragon, the first and biggest of them all, and it gets freed, but yeah, we never see the dragon after that, so yeah. But ultimately, this is a story of parallels, because, well, death is a stagnant thing. Even though the undead are doing stuff, they're not really changing. And, well, Nurgle, as being the force of being constant and not really changing. This is more about endurance, and Josh Reynolds does a great job with the beginning of every chapter is a quote of, or rather the thoughts of Nagash, and how he endures everything, how time is meaningless for him because he is death and everyone in the end dies, except for him, of course, because he is death. I don't know how to explain this in a better form, but yeah, take it as you will. And on the other hand, at the end of every chapter, we have the forces of Nurgle, so their point of view, and at the beginning they are like, ah yes, we endure everything, we are endurance, and we have time. Yeah, and there is the parallel, the dark mirror to Nagash, or rather Nagash is probably the dark mirror, but yeah. It's your choice who is the bad guy here. For me, it's Nurgle. And during the story, after every chapter, the forces of Nurgle are just like, ooh, we thought we have time, but yeah, we somehow do not have time. Because, as I've said, for Nagash, time is meaningless. And so it is for his Mortarks. But, so sadly, there isn't really much to say in another kind of way about this book. There are some interesting tidbits in here how the mortal followers of Nagash are seeing the dead and how they're really communicating with them. In the beginning, we have Tamra talking to her brother, and shortly after that, it turns out her brother is dead for a long, long time, is just a skeleton. He's a White King, and he's walking around like nothing happens. Death is a natural part of things, which it is. And they're still talking to each other like nothing happened. I love this. So as I've said, this is a rather not really feel-good story for me. It's a comfort story because of the theme of endurance. I have a soft spot for the undead in my black shriveled heart, and the thing with endurance and time is meaningless for me. So there is no rating in the end here because, as I've said, this is rather personal and has a little bit to do with my mental health. As of right now, this is why I chose to reread this again. And as I haven't really made a review for this, this is the time. And yeah, to endure things that time does basically nothing to you, and you are your own, well, lord of yourself. I don't know how to say it in another way. Well, it kinda resonates with me. And that is, as much as I love my Daughters of Cain, in Age of Sigmar, the Grand Alliance of Death is my home. This is where I feel the most, well, let's say, again, comfortable. Because of the overall and grand theme of all things. And even though Nagash during the story is getting weaker and weaker by the day, and his mind is shattered, and Arkan even tries to, well, reason with him, tries to talk with him, and he says, I have this conversation with him every day for the last, I forgot how long it is. They are doing this weeks, months, years. It's really not that, but it's really not that important, because after his soul has been shattered and he gathers the pieces together again, which is also a great feat in itself, because other beings being struck down by Archaon's sword, well, they are not really capable of doing this. As soon as their soul is shattered, it's gone, or rather gone. We can see this in Vandus Hammerhand and how he, yeah, well, he's in the loony bin, basically. But Nagash, well, he's doing it. He's taking back everything which belongs to him. Yeah, so him being in this circle, like, again, this is a parallel to Nurgle. Maybe I'm interpreting too much into it, and Josh Reynolds just wrote it as it is a great story point, but he's in a circle, and, well, we have Nurgle on the other side, which is a circle in itself, and at the end, Nagash just breaks out of this, and he is basically himself again. Well, not really that, but he's getting close. He's at the point in which he again knows what's happening around him. So the sad part for me in this is, first of all, Josh Reynolds is not longer a part of the Black Library. They parted ways. The reason, not important right now. I'm still sad about it. He's a great author, but I had the feeling, because Tamara Van Drek becomes a Deathlord at the end, and the only Deathlords are the Mortarks. So I had high hopes that Tamara Van Drek gets a model, that she becomes a Mortark in herself, but this is another video, so we're not going to talk about this right now. Because Orsiak Bone Reapers and Flesh Eater Courts are getting their battle tomes in the upcoming month. So, to be honest, I really don't know what else to talk about. As I've said, there isn't really much happening in there. We get to see the... Oh yeah, well, what we have. Oh, I forgot. So we have the saying, Nagash is all, and all are one in Nagash. And this is not only for, well, all souls. It is the realm in itself. If the realm is damaged, Nagash is damaged. If Nagash gets better, his realm also heals. So Gairan and Alariel in, well, basically Nagash and Shyish. And we get Neferata explaining this a little bit to Tamra, which I love. But yeah, so a rating. I said I won't give a rating here because this might be, again, a personal thing and you don't have to listen to it. I recommend this book for everyone who's at a low point in their lives and just wants a little bit of, well, let's just say motivation, inspiration to endure things. And this one is definitely one of the things which helps me. Of course, the hobby in itself is helping a lot, but this story by Josh Reynolds just, as I've said, resonates with me. So thank you for that, Mr. Reynolds. So yeah, this was kind of different than every other Black Library review I had, but I feel that I had to do it. So thank you so much for sticking with me until the end. I hope you're doing well. If you have any thoughts and questions, please leave them in the comment section down below. I am keen to know what you have to say. And while you're down there, do all the YouTube stuff, because hitting buttons is fun. If you want to support the channel and you don't know what to say, just write endure in the comments. Have a great day, my friend. Stay fantastic. Stay hydrated. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!